Brace yourself because we're trying something new and a bit out there this time. I know that might be a pretty bold claim considering the previous entries into this video series, but hey, while you guys are super into these guides, I was thinking of doing a special 6.87 video. Instead of all random, we'll make it an only way to play. Just so I get it out before the eventual heat death of the universe, I'm going to forego animating 3 hours of patch note discussions and talk about only the juicy stuff. Starting with... There was once a time when arcane boots were considered an insane new item. Wow, no one will ever run out of mana. What's the point of ever getting other mana items? Now it's a staple of every poor support's pipe dreams. What I'm getting at is every time new items are added, there's a wave of ill-informed crazy builds and people complaining that Dota isn't Dota anymore. My hope is that we, here in this segment, avoid all of that. So, Bloodthorn is a new item built from Orchid and Chrysalis. It gives True Strike and a damage amp in the form of everyone hitting the target having a crit chance. And it's 7,000 gold. It's the second most expensive item in the game, apart from Dagon 5. You will be buying this on any hero who doesn't naturally go MKB, but does go Orchid. Basically any int carry. OD, Silencer, Quap, Nature's Prophet, it is an extremely expensive item all up, but the pieces are amazingly cheap. The biggest hurdle is 1,000 gold for the recipe, which you'd get last anyway. Take into account that it's still just a beefy Orchid. It's still removed by BKBs and any dispels, and when the Silence is dispelled, so is the True Strike. Echo Sabre gives any melee hero Weaver's Geminate attack with a slight slow on the second hit. Basically, it equates to you gaining an attack and the enemy losing one every 5 seconds. It's 2,650 gold for this effect, and only melee heroes should get it. This item is made to be coupled with any spell that has a proc chance and any hero who depends on multiple hits to deal exponential damage. Troll Warlord does both, and therefore, it's core on him. Also consider it on Ursa, Slark, Sven, Void, Spiritbreaker, Slardar, and Chaos Knight. It's also interesting on heroes that have awful attack speed but rely on burst. Maybe like Wraith King or like Tiny, because Tiny can hit a tossed victim for his insane damage twice before they hit the ground. And the stats are great for nearly everyone. Blightstone is the bane of any mid laner scared of Bounty Hunter, and a godsend for any roamers at the start of a game. Windlace is nearly the same. With Orb of Venom, any hero has the choice of either picking up a slow, picking up a movement speed boost, or picking up an extremely potent early game damage amp. So let's talk about when to get each in a really, broad sense. Pick up Orb of Venom on anyone who already has great speed. Slark comes to mind. Pick up Windlace if you have powerful slows and stuns but are slow yourself, Crystal Maiden for example. And pick up Blightstone when you have insane speed and a built-in slow. Bounty Hunter with his Janata is pretty much the perfect fit. If you wanted to, you could actually go 2 of these, but sitting here now while I'm writing this, or standing holding a drumstick and saying this if you don't want me to break the illusion, my theory crafting doesn't really give me a hero that would want all 3, especially when they take up 3 slots and give no stats. Infused Raindrops, nobody ever talks about these. They are insane. In layman's terms, they're like mini pipe of insights. Every time you take magic damage that's more than 50, they'll activate and block the damage up to 120. The reason there's a minimum of 50 is so 3 damage DOTs like Orb of Venom don't immediately burn all of the charges. For 225 gold, you get 0.85 regen. That's more than a Sage's Mask until you have over 30 intelligence. You also get the potential to lane against a Zap Happy Zeus, Lena, or God forbid, Oracle without any worry. Guys, pick these up now before people wrap their heads around them. Going up against an Ogre Magi who stuns you and sees no health go down without knowing what's doing it pretty much guarantees he'll just ignore you. Ogre Magi players are stupid that way, I'm making it seem. That reminds me, the only way to play Ogre Magi, Dragonlance Rush, coming soon. Tomes of Knowledge give you experience in exchange for gold, and that is exactly why they're not for you, you ignorant farm all day AFK anti-mage. In general, buy them for underleveled supports if they themselves can't afford them. Also, get them on specific heroes that depend on getting to level X as fast as possible, like Phoenix and his ult levels, DK and his level 16, and Invoker and his level 25. And lastly, Hurricane Pike. My personal favorite item of 6.87. Maybe my favorite item in all of Dota. I mean, it's built out of a 4-staff, which was my previous favorite item. With it, you can do this. With it, you can do this.
Bullfrog is here.
But most importantly, with it, you can go back to playing Sniper, everyone's favorite hero. Sniper, Drow, Luna, Enchantress, TA. All of these squishy heroes terrified of finding themselves in melee range of a Huskar can simply give them the old fuck off and kill them with some cross-continental projectiles. The talking points and winners of the 6.87 buff lottery are without question Vanguard, Blade Mail, and Silver Edge. Vanguard works on illusions now and builds into Abyssal Blade. Silver Edge costs 650 less and gives 29 more stats in total. Blade Mail, returning magic piercing spells and attacks, sends them back through BKB. Ah man, it's gotta suck to be any hero self-describing as a glass cannon against the BKB holder. The only way to both still attack a holder and take minimal damage is to build items that defend against your own damage. Sniper would need armor, Lena would need magic resistance, Enchantress would need any redeeming qualities to make me care that she's so majorly wrecked by this. It reminds me of an interesting thought experiment. Enchantress has 2 rib cages, one of a human, one of a doe, which means she has 2 of every torso organ, right? So where is Enchantress's heart? Does she have 2? Any ideas? Trick question, she has none. She is a soulless evil void of pain. Look behind those fucking eyes, man. Well, I guess this is the big one, right? 111 heroes. Which ones are god tier, which ones are trash? Let's just go alphabetically and I'll give a bit on every few. Abaddon's ever so slightly stronger. You might be wondering why I'm mentioning this, but I just finished a massive 12-minute guide the day before 6.87 came out. I'm just happy I didn't have to scrap it all and start again. Arc Warden now has to be played fairly, much to the chagrin of all the Arc Warden players. He can't buy rapiers, he can't spam necro units, he can't have a BKB piercing 6-second 50% slow at level 1. He can, however, be an amazingly disruptive presence in teamfights with his new Spark Wraith. In a world where the ability to purge enemies is a very, very rare sight, Arc Warden just strolls up and says, hey, I've got 2 purges every 4 seconds. Arc Warden in general is in a really weird place right now. Maybe I'll do a guide so we can collectively understand how broken he is when he is played right. Axe is back. He's not completely nullified by the simple concept of a game going later than 20 minutes. Bloodseeker can now have 2 people TP away from him after being ruptured, and for only 1 easy payment of 4,200 gold. Earthshaker can come on and slap. Lifestealer also suffers from a nerf to his meme build. What a fucking shame. Now only people who are good at him will be able to own with him. Oh boy, Oracle. Most of you regulars will already know Oracle's my favorite hero, and that I take him mid, and that I justify kill stealing by saying, I had to, I didn't want to heal him. Well, now we can do that 225% more. I'm actually sort of annoyed because I was writing a PA guide a while back and now I don't get to use this clip because she's changed too much. Just indulge me for a sec. Phantom Assassin never even needs to turn up to a fight. She can just sit on the sidelines cheering her teammates on and occasionally throwing fucking knives at the rival team. Just like a typical curling game. Ever been to watch one of those live? Of course you haven't, so you'll just have to take my word on it. Skywrath Mage is crazy now, except he isn't. It ends up doing less damage. Great, thanks for the buff, Ice Frog. Storm Spirit is buffed because Bloodstone is buffed, and Storm Spirit is Bloodstone incarnate. He also has an instant Ravage with Ags. Troll Warlord is slowly crawling his way back to station OP. While heroes like Sniper are just resigned to their fate of a post 15 minutes of fame, Troll with every single patch is trying his hardest to be hated again. It fits pretty fucking well with his lore too. Weaver Ags, you know it's right. Carry Wyvern, Bloodthorn core Ags follow-up, you heard it here first, folks. And finally, Wraith King can now farm that Radiance even faster. Looking back at all of this, it's like Mr. Frog wants you to go these items. It's like Ice Frog has a personal interest in me telling you what to go. It's like he and I are somehow linked. It's almost as if... What a good word. Miscellaneous. Easily in my top 500. Miscellaneous is an autological word in the sense that it's a word made up of a bunch of miscellaneous and varied pieces of this English language I like to butcher so much with my weird accent, run-on sentences, and prepositions I end my sentences on. And speaking of weird, weird is weird in the sense that it's not I before E except after C. And yes, you caught me. I'm trying to pad this video out with fluff. The miscellaneous parts of 6.87 are interesting too, if you're a nerd. Luckily, I'm not. Ranked all pick means you meta hoppers spamming the most broken heroes of every update will actually have to learn to play heroes other than Invoker. Oh no! And Scan. Scan is something you've all immediately forgotten about, haven't you? Basically, just use it in any high traffic areas while you're smoked up looking for kills or afraid of ganks while farming. It doesn't work on the Roche pit. It does, however, work on the outskirts of the Roche pit, and if you suspect that they're in Roche, odds are that one will step outside the restricted area and reveal. One other thing to take into account, it's red that means there's someone there. Green means that there isn't. Oh shit, or is it the other way around? God, I should probably research these guides before I make them. So, with 6.87 out now, I'd imagine a lot of you would like some custom-only way to play guys to wrap your head around your favorite heroes changes. If that's true, for 1 week, the $20 Patreon perk has no patron limit, and the videos will be made within the week, or, if it's a long one, the fortnight. This particular guide was brought to you by I for Trouble, Dota 2 Noob, Pearson Newborn, Free Kill, Chet Cohen and Simon Jandalbars, Evil Motherfucking Jellyfish, Aaron Tang, Jacob Miller, Chestnut, Yabos McGee, Aldo Sasanto, Adam Sienna, Tsunami Shadow, Gregulus, Crean, Leafshank, Luca Droppers, Joy Deludens, Michael Robb, Lucas Sabecki, Wing, Martin Thoreau, Max of S2D, Shooped, John Boone, and Red Mitchell.